Hey, we are live here from the gym. I'm not working out right now, as you can see, and it's Saturday morning here in Norway. I'm going to give it a few seconds so that people can join. Hopefully, everything works as it's supposed to. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. Okay. Wonderful. I am a little bit curious when it comes to the title. Can you let me know, because I can't see it here from StreamYard, and I'm still getting into this thing here. Can you let me know what the title of this live stream is? Because I wrote one thing in StreamYard and another thing in I'm not retiring, I'm not that old. Okay. Yes. So it works as it works. But actually, I wrote charity and chat first. And then I tried in the setup to this live stream to add the charity or the donation option that I have created in YouTube. But for some reason today it wouldn't let me. And this will spark some, it's easy to get into the conspiracy theories and all that. I tried to, you click on one of the boxes there to choose the charity that you created. And I created a charity. I'm trying to collect $500 for an animal charity called Soy Dog. You will see that on some of my other videos and live streams. It's on the right side or under the screen. But today, YouTube couldn't find it. And when I clicked move on or something like that, it would automatically choose donation to the Ukraine, and that's a donation created by Google. Isn't that funny? Now I have donated money to the Ukraine. I've sent food and clothes actually before to the Ukraine before I was informed that they had enough clothes there now. And I've also sent actually money to Russia recently to an animal charity there. But anyway, it's funny. It's funny. It didn't work today. It would only let me choose donations to choose a charity that was made by Google to donate money to the Ukraine. But after this live stream, I will see if I can change the settings so that you will see the donation option to Soy Dog, which is an Asia or Thailand-based animal charity. Okay, so I'm not retiring. I'm not that old, and I have to make that very clear because I said in a couple of live streams, I said that I'm moving into part-time early retirement, and for some reason a lot of people, they seem to not have heard the part-time part. So I'll just make it very, very clear. When I say that I am moving into part-time early retirement, means that I have now turned 50 and I will no longer be working 60-hour weeks, which I have been doing for many years. I will be working 30-hour weeks, which is just a little bit less than the normal work week here in Norway, which is 37.5 hours per week. So it's quite important, because if I started a 100% retirement, I think my publishers would get upset. And I don't think I've ever heard about an author retiring. That's unheard of, because you continue writing until you die. There is no retirement for authors, you know. So it's I regret saying it, but now that I have said it, I need to make it very, very clear that I am not retiring. I'm reducing the amount of hours from 60-hour weeks, which will kill you after a while, down to 30-hour weeks, which will enable me to take Fridays off, for instance, to go hiking. So yeah, quite important actually. Thank you, Wolf Odin. Another 50 years. Yes, I plan to live for a long time. Knock on wood. So this is one of those live streams where we will try to stay within that kind of fuzzy, warm feeling that this community gives us. I'm protective of this community. I will kick the trolls and haters out. And nonsensical stuff as well. We will get rid of that. Like this. Kimberly, yes, I'm reducing my hours to keep my health, actually. So, just watch. Okay, yes. That's what I said. Hold on. That's what I said in the video yesterday on the main channel. If you haven't seen that video, please do. It helps a lot. I talked a little bit about what I've seen on YouTube, and don't worry, I'm not going to get into the whole YouTube thing, YouTube creator complaining a lot thing. I'm not going to get into that, but it doesn't matter what I do now, okay? Because YouTube will not suggest my videos anyway. So that means I can just do whatever I like, in the videos. And actually, I said that I'm going to be working smarter. And yeah, takes a bit of discipline to do that. But that's the way forward. I suspect that I forgot. I hope I didn't forget. You see, I'm in the settings. I choose a setting that enables only subscribers to comment in the chat. I suspect that I forgot, because I'm seeing a little bit of nonsense here now. Okay. Eliza, good to know you got a notification. Let me tell you this. If you haven't chosen all notifications here on this channel, There's a bell. When you click subscribe, there's a bell next to it. I think if you hover over that bell, or if you click on the bell, you can choose all notifications. And I know for a fact that YouTube will not let you know when I upload a video or when I start a live stream unless you have chosen all notifications. You have to choose all notifications because YouTube is not prioritizing any of my channels. Yes, Canadian Spider-Man, exactly right. On my main channel, the number is 10%. 10% of the subscribers there have chosen all notifications. And I can also see from the numbers in the statistics that only 10% get notified when I upload new videos. In addition to that, YouTube has for a long time, and I can tell you, I did a deep dive into the statistics and numbers, and I can tell you that YouTube has been burying, they've been hiding all my outdoors videos on my main channel, my hiking videos, my biking videos, my bushcrafting videos. And I was wondering, why are people not watching these videos? Well, only those 10% were watching them. Because YouTube didn't tell anyone about the other about those videos, So, but anyway, enough of that. Yeah, I know they unsubscribe people as well, and I believe that if you have a VPN, the number is you will get notified and all that, but the number you're not in the statistics actually. But I do suggest that you have a VPN. I recommend everyone to use a VPN, even though it confuses the algorithm. I don't care about the algorithm anymore. So that's interesting. The hard worker thing is a relic from past ages. Yes, that may be, but I'm an author and I work towards deadlines. When people ask when will the new book be published, it kind of puts a pressure on me, right? So that's not a relic from past ages. And a lot of people, more people than you can imagine, they work towards deadlines. And when you do that, it's much more difficult to limit the work hours than when you work by the hour. Sandra, good to see you. Let's see her. Gary, get notifications but can't always watch. Of course, we were all busy. That's just how it is. And I do a lot of live streams now here on this channel. Just Watch gets all the notifications on all the channels, all my channels. That's awesome. Let's see here. And Ursus must have to, he has to look for some of the content. Yeah. So this is I will talk a little bit about what it feels like turning 50. And actually a bit of personal information here. I'm not married. I'm not. But we've been together for like since forever here, and um, she will be 50 uh, very soon as well. Now, so we are almost exactly almost the same age, and we're going to have a party in about a month with some friends. Uh, so, like, 100-year-old party. That will be fun. And I hear that those 50, when you turn 50, those parties are the worst, because you're now. I don't drink alcohol myself, but my friends do. And at age 50, normally your kids are, teenagers, or even they might even have moved out of the house, and people have kind of found that, if not youth, than they had, then they party hard at that age, So I'm looking forward to that. Um, and Canadian Spider-Man says, turned 50 just a few months ago, feels great. You realize you have to make use of every single day. Yes, thank you. I was going to talk about that as well, and because that was strange, actually. That happened overnight, and the good thing, that what happened was that I've always had problems just putting things away. Now, not physical things, but mental things. I get obsessed with, not obsessed, but I think too much about things. Okay, and um, that's quite common, I guess. But I woke up and I was not like that anymore. And I've heard people saying that when you get older, you become better at separating between the things that matter and the things that really don't matter that much. So maybe that's what we're talking about here. But that happened overnight, actually. Big difference. Big difference. So, good. Oops. Let's see here. My novels. Am I planning to publish my books in other languages? Now, if you see the banner moving across here, you will see it says that, well, now it just moved. It's coming back here. Blog and news about my novels, it says. And there's a website address there. I do not publish my books. My publishers publish my books. So I have publishers in several countries. My agent is working on finding a suitable publisher for the English market. I will absolutely make a big point out of it when I get a book deal with an English language publisher. But check out that website, and you will see that they are available in quite a number of languages. I'm very excited about the Russian edition. Now, I've written, I think, 21 novels, and the first of the Jomsviking series. It's the Jomsviking. Feels strange saying that with an English pronunciation. Jomsviking. the series, that series was my big breakthrough, and those are the novels that are being, um, yeah, that the publisher are most interested in other countries. And the first of those novels in that series is being published in Russian in a few days, or not. And I'm really looking forward to that, because um, it's obviously Russia and all the Russian-speaking territories. It's such an important, when you talk about literature, it's like this. It's very important, obviously, um, and and there's a lot of Russian people, and also because of this conflict, we're looking at corrupt, greedy, inhumane, nasty people sending young people to war, and yeah, so that's how I see it. And in when we have this conflict, I think it becomes even more important to not only keep the cultural connections strong, but also to build bridges. Culture builds bridges. It's very important. We must not get to that point where we view the Russian people as enemies. If we do, we have lost. We cannot let that happen. So I have noticed that some authors and other people who work in the arts, they are virtue signaling and saying that, well, I'm not we're not having I won't have any dealings with the Russians anymore. To those people, I will say this: you are some damned fools. And I refuse to be like that. I view all Russian people as potential friends. That's how I view everyone in every country here on this planet. So I'm looking very much forward to the Russian edition, even though I will not be able to read a word because the Cyrillic alphabet and all that. But I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah. Um, Sophia, yes, I will. It needs to happen. Needs to happen soon. It is the number one most common question on my channels. So let's see here. Yeah. Wolfer Odin. Yeah, me too. Wolfer Odin says, I boycott the Russian haters. Isn't it? Let's talk a little bit about that. And I'll tell you a story. Now, I don't know 100% if it is true, but what I've heard is this. My family on my father's side, they were involved in the resistance during the occupation here in Norway, the Second World War occupation. So they were, one of them was killed by the, and I don't know that word. They say it's can get you banned from YouTube if you say it. So I'll just say the National Socialists, because the word I'm talking about, that's what it means. It's they fuse those two words, and you get the word, that word. Those people who, the guy with the ugly little mustache, and yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Don't write it. Don't write it. But anyway, they occupied Norway, and you had Norwegian guys and girls, women, uh, secretly fighting, doing sabotage and blowing things up and all that. And one of my ancestors, um, yeah, please don't write it. But okay. So they were involved in the resistance, and I'm very proud of that fact. And sadly, one of them he was killed. He was shot, escaping from. Yeah, I won't. It's one of the more famous cases. Actually, they were coming back from training in Sweden, and he and a mate of his, and sadly, they were discovered, and he was killed. My son wrote an assignment. Is that what you call it in school? About that, actually. And but one thing I'm not so proud about is that I was told that some of my father's uncles, were involved in arresting Quisling and his wife. Now, if you didn't know Quisling, maybe you know the word. It means a traitor. He was, he formed a puppet government in Norway under the National Socialist occupying force. And when the National Socialists lost the war, people wanted revenge. So you had a lot of cases where they took women who had fallen in love with, for instance, German soldiers, and they cut their hair, and they were cruel to them, and they were cruel to their kids. So a lot of very bad things happened after the war. And what I've heard is this: my father's uncles, they not only did they help arrest Quisling, they also raided his home. They also raided his home. They were thieves. That's what I heard. That's nothing to be proud about, So, yeah, I completely lost my train of thought here. Why did I start talking about that? Yes, Russia. We must not start hating Russians. We must not do that. I was hoping that we would have learned from the past, but people never do. People never do. So it's just very sad. It's just very sad. So now I'm Lawrence, about moving to another platform. I'm honest about this. I make money on YouTube. Okay, I don't make money on Rumble. I'm on Rumble as well, but they've never paid me any money. Rumble is good at one thing, that's demonetizing and censoring. Yes, actually. They don't censor like YouTube censors, but they, if I move to another platform, like 90%, no, 95 or 99% will not follow. That's just how it works, okay? I'm sorry to be that blunt about it, but people don't follow over to other platforms. Google is too ingrained in the smartphones that everybody is carrying around. So that's just how it works, and I have to adapt to that. So I'll say National Socialist instead of that other word, since YouTube won't let us know which words we cannot say. Yes, now, the Cold War, very interesting, interesting. Yeah, well, interesting, but also scary era. I grew up during the Cold War. Um, and wow, super chat. That's awesome. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Because of that, I will tell you a disgusting story about the guys in Enslaved. um, yeah, awesome music. Awesome. Awesome. Um, I especially liked Below the Lights. You know, it really makes me think of the creatures living in the darkness under the ground and all that, which is part of the Nordic folklore. Okay, let's get to that story about. Let's change topics here. Enslaved. It's not funny. Well, maybe you will laugh, but this is what I don't know. I know a lot of the guys in the old school black metal scene, uh, but I don't know those guys. But I'm sure they won't mind. I think they're my age now. Um, yeah, we went to the same bar in Oslo. On one occasion, I shouldn't say this, but please don't. If any of you guys in Enslaved are, I won't mention any names. Okay. Yeah. So they were there drinking, and they were there with talking with some girl, and if you're very sensitive, if you now okay, in Norway, well, Scandinavia, we are a lot more rude than, well, especially Americans. I'm sorry to say this, but you wouldn't believe how it's like we don't have those um, limits like other people have. Okay, we are much more direct, and we are Vikings, so it's like we can say things we can be very direct, very direct. Okay, so yeah, so and she went to order some drinks, and while she was made aware that while she was doing that, one of the guys, there were two, I won't mention the name, he took his trousers off and put his um, manly bits in her beer. That's disgusting. Yeah. I don't know why. I think he felt it was a practical joke. Luckily, she saw that, but who knows who else was victim to that practical joke. Yes, actually, yeah. So that's Norway. So the Finns are the worst. And I'm saying that it comes from a place of love when I say that, because we really like the Finns. And Norwegians and Swedes, I think Norwegians are a bit more primitive than the Swedes, and the Danish, they are party people. Norwegians are funny because we can come across as blunt, rude, and not so talkative until we get a little bit drunk. Then that's when the magic happens here. This is just it's a joke. It's Don't take this too seriously, okay? So, yeah, this is like the fun part. It's don't take it too seriously. But I'm trying to say that my feeling is that Americans are a lot more. They do have those limits to what they will do and all that. And some of them are shocked when they come here. They are shocked. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I've, and it's not like the women are any better. I think maybe they are worse, actually. Um, I've been in without the shirt on in parties 2 or 3 times because I had someone puked on me. It is the truth. I'm telling you the truth there. But I didn't mind back then. I was young back then, so yeah, women did that. Yes. Too many tequilas. Uptight, Jason. That's the word I was looking for. And it's kind of it's funny. I think it's funny because we are talking about the stereotypes, right? And also about how people view other cultures. And I think there's some truth in it, but mostly it's like things get exaggerated and we generalize. But if you can look at it like something that is a little bit fun, then it is fun. So uh, America or the USA, it's like um, it's what comes from the USA. I'll tell you from the Norwegian view of this is like in the USA they make, first of all, pornography, churches, and Trump. That's what comes from the USA, and guns. That's what they have there. Canada, bears and bearded men. Yeah, and we can talk about other countries like that as well. The Finns they're like Superman, and they can drink like huge amounts of vodka. It's like it's crazy. Well, thanks a lot, Riff Magos, heathen Greek Highlander. Yeah, absolutely. Ireland. Yeah, some of this will be a little bit personal, but I'll try to. We have a very positive view of Ireland. Um, you know, the best beer. If you ask me, the best beer, and cousins. The crazy cousins, that's where they live in Ireland. So did I miss a super chat here? Sorry, I'll just move up a little bit. Yeah, the Danes are party people. They are. You can't deny it. Hattori Hanso, thanks a lot for that donation. A hike with Bjorn Outdoors. Have you seen that? All those memes with the guys from Abbott, and they're in the black metal makeup and they're pointing at things in the woods, and it's hilarious. So yeah, I know Switzerland has a gun culture. It's the number 2 on the list of how many guns per person in that's Switzerland on number 2, I think. I made a community post on that because I'm sick and tired. Okay, here comes the rant. Here comes the rant. Okay, a little bit of a rant here. Oh yeah, I have some favorite black metal bands. I'm a big fan of Dimmu Borgir. Yeah. So now here's the one thing that makes me a little bit crazy and angry. No, I'll start again. Here's the one thing that makes me not upset, annoyed. Okay. Especially Americans. You guys in America, I love you. That's okay. Don't get me wrong here, but when Americans say that, and they do it in this kind of a condescending way. Oh, in Europe, they were what's the word? De-armed, or they took their guns away from them. They don't have the Second Amendment, and look at how bad things are there. That's rubbish. That's nonsense. It's not true. Okay. So I found statistics on this, and out of the 10 most, now I found statistics on gun ownership, right? How many guns are there per person in that country? Okay. So 5 out of the top 10 countries are European. Okay, Norway is on 11th. So, and you have Sweden, Finland, not Denmark. This has a lot to do with the hunting culture. I think in Switzerland, they have a very liberal gun culture there. Not so much about hunting. I might be wrong on that one. And if you look at the statistics, Europe is 5 of the countries with the most guns per person in the world. 5 of the top 10 countries are European. Gun ownership is becoming, at least I know in Norway, more and more common. And it is not true. when people in America point at Europe and they say, well, they had their guns taken away. No, no. And saying that is actually extremely ignorant, because I think maybe you don't know what Europe is. Europe is a war-torn place. Not long ago, we had a war in Yugoslavia. Now, I have by marriage a relative who is a Serbian guy, and I can't give you the details, but I can tell you that for obvious reasons, there are lots of guns there on private hands. And it's like, no, where do you get this idea that we were de-armed, if that's the word? Anyone without, well, unless you have a criminal record, I guess, can get a gun here. And I know that there are lots of illegal guns as well, sadly. So you have to listen to me now when I say this, because I'm giving you the numbers here. Not exactly the numbers. You'll have to go to the community post on that. Listen, you can't continue pointing at Europe and saying, well, they were de-armed, they don't have a Second Amendment, they don't have guns. That, because it is not true. It is not true. Gun ownership in Europe is more common than gun ownership in Africa. I guess some countries there, Somalia, they don't. All the guns are illegal or not registered. But also, please consider, Russia is part of Europe, and all these war-torn Eastern European countries. I mean, what do you think happened with their guns after the war? Did they hand them to the authorities? No, they didn't. No, they are still there. So this is important. This is important to understand. And if you look at the numbers in Norway, gun ownership is becoming more common. And I am telling you the truth here. Now, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I have my opinions on that. I won't share those here. I'm just giving you the information on this. If you're going to point at other countries and say that they were disarmed, sorry, disarmed, then don't point to Europe, because that's nonsensical. It really is. It really is. So okay. Yeah, there's a process to get guns here in Europe, and I am glad there is, because I know a few people, not like they are friends, they are not friends, but I know a few people that will probably not be allowed to own a gun, and they shouldn't be. No, I know of, not know, but I know of. Okay. So please don't be one of those guys who point to Europe and say that they were disarmed. They don't have the Second Amendment, and USA is so great because we do. And it's not true, and it makes you look a little bit ignorant when we hear this here in Europe. Okay. And one of the most famous comedians, maybe not right now, but he was very famous. He has like one of the biggest gun collections he has a very big gun collections, not hunting guns. And he actually got in trouble for that because some of them were not processed properly. And also, he at one occasion he heard some. I can't remember. I think he heard some sounds, and he started shooting inside his apartment, which is not good, you know. But a few days ago, and you will maybe find this interesting. The reason for his behavior appeared. Well, actually, he agreed to do an interview on this. I talked recently about the terror attack during Pride Month in Oslo. An Islamist guy started shooting. That same guy is the brother to this comedian's ex-girlfriend. And at some point a few years ago, this comedian, he got attacked by that guy, the Islamist guy, violently, and he had to go to hospital and so on. And you can't, if you can kind of add the pieces together, and it's easy to see that he got into guns maybe because he was scared. I don't know, but that's what it looks like, you know. Joel, welcome as a member to the channel. You will have access to the members only live streams. Okay. Well, thank you for the donation there. I can't answer that question. My view on the adaptation of the Silmarillion that Amazon is making. I haven't seen it. Probably I will probably not be watching it. I don't watch that much of that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Joel says, my first subscription ever. Well, welcome. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, guns. I've only shot Magnum 44 myself, because I'm mostly into bows, as you know. But yeah, I don't like firearms so much because of the noise. Actually, it kind of goes against what I feel is important when I'm in nature and my lifestyle, where I live, and so on. There really isn't any reason for me to have a gun for self-defense. I mean, there is not much crime here, okay? So, and no, there is not much crime in Norway, period. So, that's just, it's a good thing. But we do have a hunting culture, or I would say we should have a hunting culture. But what I've seen is not a culture, it's just grown men behaving like little spoiled kids with guns, so it's disgusting what I've seen. But there really isn't any reason to have a gun for self-defense. Where I live, that would be nonsensical. But for hunting, yes, I guess so. Um, but yeah. So yeah, I guess Moon Bear. If someone wants you dead, that can be done. You can't spend your life looking over your shoulder, and someone could be hiding in the bushes and shoot you or something. Um, if you don't see it, doesn't matter if you have like 10 guns on you. It doesn't matter. Um, I'm going to move away from the gun thing because, well, I can tell you, I saw a commentary it moved up, but if you had a handgun where I live, you would feel a little bit out of place. It would be awkward. Um, Now, of course, you can't walk around with a handgun here. I mean, I live in the countryside. It would be ridiculous. I mean, um, no, no, it's doesn't make sense here. Um, but anyway, let's move away from that. And let me just say one thing. I understand it is different. It's different if you live in some downtown uh, big city, but we actually don't even have big cities in Norway. Okay. Let's move on from that. Um, let's move on. Okay. Yeah, well, Mr. Sorpos, that's awesome. I don't sell bows. I feel my bows they should be more perfect, if you know what I mean. But and I don't have time, but I have a project coming up. I bought ages ago. I bought a handle. Okay, so it's like this is for my glasses, but here's the handle, right? And when you make a self bow, it's just a stick, and so I don't have metal handles, but this is a handle with a piece that you can take it apart. So that means that you can put hold on, one part here, one limb here, and one limb there. The string will, of course, keep it together. And when you take the string off, you have two parts. So you can more easily take it in your backpack, for instance. So that's the next project. I've never made a bow like that, but I guess it's a matter of just making a bow and cutting it in half in the handle. So that's coming up, and looking forward to that. Also, I'm going to make a big bowl or kuksa out of seasoned birchwood, so that will be hard on my knives. But I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm that the part-time early retirement, part-time. Part of that is that I will be able to do these things. you know. I will have time for that. Ursus, yes. Making a natural laminate bow with bone, wood, and sinew like a Mongolian type. Yes, that I've never done that, but I've seen it. I think it's takes some skill to make a bow like that. Luck places. Like to see some carving, leatherworking, and building. Yeah, I'm getting more into that now. Let's see here. Okay. Now, bows, and I'm talking about modern bows and crossbows. There's a discussion, I guess. What's best, a crossbow or a compound bow? But they are both very, very accurate and very, very deadly. It is difficult to not die when you get hit by an arrow from those weapons because of the shape of the arrow, and it drills a hole like this big. And it's designed to make the animal bleed to death quickly. So don't underestimate those. They are very deadly and very silent. Okay. Yeah, but making bows is okay. Making bows has nothing to do with any of the hunting, self-defense, SHTF stuff. And here comes very soon now another rant, a second rant. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, it's not about that. It's about having a good time, enjoying the craft and the joy of making a bow. It's a functional weapon, you know. No, yeah, it's not like a gun, but that's not the point. It's about making something. It's just, I really like making bows. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Now I won't mention the channel's name. I can't even remember. A smaller channel made a video. I can't even remember if I saw how old that video was, but anyway, he was ragging on, is that the word? Criticizing some bushcraft, some big bushcraft channels. Let me see. I'll answer that question. Yeah, he was criticizing those channels, and yeah, he was one of the guys saying that, well, USA is Second Amendment, hooray, and all that. In his naive mind, I think he believed that we have been disarmed here. Yeah, well. So, but anyway, and one thing he said was that his angle was that these bushcrafters, they are, not, they don't understand survival, because if you try to do that in a survival situation, you will die, and all that. I've never heard a bushcrafter saying that this is bushcrafting skills is what is going to keep you No, I've never heard a bushcrafter saying that the primitive skills is your go-to method, should be your go-to method. I think almost every bushcrafter I know, they are saying that if you have a lighter and you're in a hurry, you should use your lighter to light your fire. Uh, the bow drill, flint and steel, and so on, it has more to do with connecting with nature, the past, and things like that. And he was mentioning, uh, you know, carving a spoon. Oh, it's not going to help you when the zombie apocalypse comes. No, nobody's saying that. Carving a spoon is for enjoyment. It's something that you do when you sit by the campfire, and you're just enjoying the moment, and it's nice, you know. It's a nice thing. I Nobody's saying that carving a spoon will save you in the apocalypse. That's not. I don't know what to say to these people. um, so I mean, and that's bushcraft. You know, bushcraft is, well. Don't get me wrong. Bushcraft skills are very useful. And if you find yourself in a situation where you have no other means to light a fire, then of course it is awesome to be able to make a fire with the, just uh, the friction between some pieces of wood. Of course. But nobody's saying that this is, mainly about survival. Bushcraft is about enjoyment. It's a hobby. It's fun in the woods, you know, and it's a window into the past. So, um, yeah, um, yeah. I'm going to first thing I will do um, when the communists come and SHTF starts, then I'm going to carve myself a spoon and I will fight the communists with my spoon. um, so, you know, I don't know. I'll answer this question. Okay. Does Norway, Hattori is asking, does Norway manufacture axes or hatches? I see a lot from Sweden. We do have Öjo. Öjo, they are making axes. Now, I will say this: that brand is good, but it's not my favorite. The quality is, it's right up there, but it's if you buy Hultsbruk or Gränsfors from Sweden, it's better if you ask me. That's my personal opinion, and uh, I have access from both Hultsbruk and Gränsfors and Öjo, and even one that I believe is can't remember the brand now, but it was found in the soil. It was dug up, and I restored it. The same brand that makes fishing hooks, actually. So it's an ancient axe. They don't make axes anymore, you know. So, Are there good alternatives to Gränsförsbruksaccess because they support New World Order? I know they support Agenda 2030. It says on their website. I have informed about that on my main channel. If that is a problem to you, that's up to you. It's not for me to decide. I think it is problematic. Yes, I have. Hold on. I have an axe from Nils. What? Uh, no, that's not what I wanted to show. Not at all. Yes, the chat is moving fast, which is awesome. But don't you have an axe from Nils Ögren as well? Yes, I do. He sent me an axe. It's so nice, I can't use it out in the woods. It's really beautiful, you know. Yeah, Hultsbruk is Mustad. Yes, yes, yes. That's the one that was found in the soil, in the dirt, dug up. I restored it, put a handle on it. You can tell that it was made in a time when you had craftsmen still, it's a different quality. It is maybe the best axe I have, actually. So let's see. Yeah, I can't take responsibility for all the comments here. I can't see all the comments, and I can just say, please remember that I'm not a liberal. I'm not a libertarian either. I'm quite conservative. And add to that there are kids watching these live streams, so please show some respect. There are things in your life that might be legal in your country that you don't really have to share with other people. Okay. Here's another brand, Helco Verk. I've heard a lot of good things about them. I don't know. The handles have an odd shape to me, but maybe there is something great about the handles. I guess there's a reason. So, okay. Well, Denmark Bear, I tend to disagree on moving fast again. That's awesome, but kids shouldn't be on the internet. Well, I tend to disagree a little bit because there are lots of things you can learn on YouTube. I think YouTube is good, mostly. Like TikTok is not. Kids shouldn't be on TikTok, and there are problems with the internet, of course. Okay, let's just move down here. Okay. Now I don't know how many moderators are here now, but I will put people in timeout when they start with their stuff that doesn't need to be talked about here at all, Okay. Let me just get back to the topic here. I can't see the context of the messages in the chat now. Um, ah, sorry. Thor Summers, sorry. That is interesting, but I was actually going to show this comment from Wolf of Odin about the axe handles of Helko Verk, saying that they have different models. I prefer the conventional wooden handles, says Wolf of Odin. I absolutely agree on that. Um, yeah, King Tut's knife, wasn't that made from like metal from a meteor or something? Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to end this live stream in a few minutes, but I will add the charity if YouTube will let me. I hope it was only a glitch. I'm trying to collect $500 for a dog charity based in Thailand, um, and I don't know why I couldn't add it when did the settings for this live stream. But I will. I'll try after the live stream to add it. So, okay. US, I am sorry, but no. Hold on. I'll try to. No, just please keep certain words out of the chat if you want me to keep doing these live streams, then please keep some topics and some words out of the chat. It would be great if you could do that, you know. Would be great. It's not much to ask, I would say. Okay. Kimberly, it's 2 a.m. where you are. Okay. Well, glad to have you here. That's wonderful. Yeah, well, yeah, it's that, you know, getting old, pain in the elbows and shoulders and all that. But using the axe is fun. You know, I even, you know, some people, they don't like chopping wood. I enjoy that a lot. And again, I'm sorry I can't read your name there, but you're asking, do you have a video of building a bow? Yes, I have 2 or 3 of those actually, and I will be making a few more, but that will be on the main channel. This is more like my live streaming channel. GB says, "I love chopping wood." Maybe that's weird. I don't think so. I think it's there. You know, it's therapeutic. Chopping wood is very satisfying. Absolutely. Hattori, thanks a lot for that. It takes quite a lot of time to make those videos, obviously, because it takes me about a week to make a bow. But well, you can make a bow in like 2 days. but then you would have to work all day. Okay, important question here is from Jon's Guitar Barn. Do you know the people who run the dog rescue? I don't know them personally, but I have been emailing with them. I am donating money every month because I have a you can give money to a specific dog, but that's more like it's not going to that specific dog. It goes to that organization, but it's like sort of an adoption, remote adoption. But yeah, they are absolutely serious about this. It's not the money is going to helping the dogs, and they have other animals there as well. And I think in addition to that, that these organizations, they have to apply to be part of the donation thing on YouTube. I don't think, because I can't choose any charity I want. There's a list there, so I think that they have been going through doing a background check on those, I would guess. So I'm quite confident that the money donated to Soy Dog will go to the dogs and the other dogs and the other animals. They have some cats and I think some horses now. Yeah. If you want to use PayPal, you can look in the video description here to this live stream. And there's a link to, I think, 3 animal charities there. And if you click on the links, you will get to their website. And I'm sure that they will have more options for donating there. Lawrence is asking, are they still chopping down the forests? This is not the season for that. They do that in late winter and early spring mostly. And they, as I've said, they cut down a lot of woodland this winter. A lot. I've never seen anything like it. Why? I think I've found the answer. Well, there are many reasons, but one obvious reason is the tripling and quadrupling of the prices for electric power here in Norway. So obviously, firewood is a cheaper way to heat your house. And so they chop down the trees, they dry it through summer and sell it around this time. And another reason is that I believe they are selling a lot of the trees to the EU. Now, as I've said a million times, Norway is not part of the EU. We export a lot of stuff to the EU, and sadly now I think we're also exporting timber. Is that what we call it? Oh, trees. Felled trees to the EU. They will there be made into pellets, which is a environmentally friendly way to generate to heat houses, they say. So because of the environment, they are chopping down the forests here. Isn't that nice? And also a third reason is that they are making they need to level the woodland and the wilderness to make room for wind turbines and power cables going across the border into the EU. I think, by the way, I think that we are winning the battle against the wind turbines. I will get back to that when I know more. They have destroyed a lot of wilderness already, but I think we're winning that one. Wolf Odin says, I just finished splitting 5 cords of firewood, enough for 2 years, and I didn't cut a single tree. Free. Yes. Okay, I'll get to that. But yeah, I have processed a lot of firewood from my own land, only dead branches and fallen down dried wood, But we have bought some firewood from trees that were felled. Now, I'm not against cutting down trees as long as it's done in a responsible way. You can manage a woodland. That means that you cut some of the trees, not all of them, right? Borg says, look at Google Maps, you couldn't cut down all the trees if they tried. Well, I don't know. To me, it looks like they are doing quite a good job on when it comes to cutting down all the trees. So much so that there are only patches left of the woodland where I live. You might have noticed that I'm not filming much here anymore on my main channel, and that's because there isn't much woodland left, and nobody wants to see me sitting there in a big pile of branches from the trees that they cut down. So yeah, I've talked about this on the main channel. They are changing the biotopes here in Norway and many other countries. You can plant trees, but you can't plant a forest. There's a big difference there. So what you have is a don't get me wrong here, multiculture, okay, out in the woods. That's what you have naturally. And when they cut down all the trees and they plant spruce trees, you get that monoculture. And when you have a monoculture, a lot less species can live there. And if you go to one of the planted forests here in Norway, you will see that almost nothing grows there because it's all dark down at the forest floor. You will have some moss. That's pretty much it. So dark and sterile, yes. And I've always said, if the problem is that we need to use less power, well, certainly let me put it in another way. If the problem is that there is not enough power, then certainly we need to, if that is the problem, we need to consume less power. And that's the way to move forward, not getting greedier and greedier when it comes to plundering the land from, its resources. Yeah, I'm going to have to end this live stream very soon. The battery on my laptop is at 8% now. I heard the owls during the night, so that was nice. uh, I had problems sleeping actually, but I heard the owls. This land that we have, that we own here, is because we have kept the trees here. So it's an extension of a passage of woodland, and the owls, they are here sometimes, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful because there's something about it, and it would be so sad if it was all silent. That would be horrible. Okay. Um, yeah, I honestly don't understand why we need all this electric power. I mean, I'm so old now that I remember that not too long ago, your cabin up in the mountains, you normally didn't have. It was not connected to electrical power. So you had paraffin lamps and you had a wood stove, and that was it. And that was something you looked forward to, you know. But anyway, going to end the live stream now. I will try to add the charity after the live stream. Okay. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk later. And also, if you want to help my main channel, please go and check out my new video there. I will put it in the end screen. And okay, Borg. Well, thanks a lot for the donation. I have to end it. I have to end the live stream right now before the battery is dead. So, okay, have a wonderful time. Until next time. Bye.